the world hidden underground, has always stimulated the human imagination. It is not only a place, but also a buried chapter of history, a story of the resilience of people living underground. Close your eyes and imagine you are entering a cold, dark labyrinth with no sound except for the footsteps echoing on the cliffs. The atmosphere is thick and humid. The narrow paths lead deep into the ground. This is not a place for the faint-hearted, but a once vibrant city where people came to escape the dangers above ground. Who lived here? What did they face? Let's explore the story of the underground city, a world forgotten but never lost. First, formation and reason for existence. To understand the existence of underground cities, we must first go back in history. Cities like Derinkuyu, Kaymakli in Turkey, or Nahurs in France are not only magnificent works of ancient architecture, but also shelters for thousands of people over the centuries. Why build underground? It is not only for safety, but also the only option in the most dire times of history. During the period of religious wars and invasions, people were pushed to the extremes of fear and helplessness. Christian tribes, for example, were hunted down and forced to flee from the attacks of Muslim armies in the 7th and 8th centuries. The fierce religious conflicts pushed people into a dangerous situation, forcing them to find special methods of survival. Living underground. They dug deep into the ground, building solid defense systems with narrow tunnels, spiral staircases, and trapdoors. These structures were not simple defensive structures, but rather a complex network that protected the people living below from dangers above ground. Derinkuyu, one of the largest underground cities, could accommodate up to 20,000 people, along with livestock and provisions. Its system of tunnels and rooms was cleverly designed with giant stone traps and sealed doors to protect residents from enemies. Every nook and cranny, every narrow corridor had its own purpose, from communal living areas and bedrooms to food storage areas and prayer areas. Large rooms were even used as schools and churches, showing that life here revolved not only around survival, but also about maintaining a community with its own cultural and spiritual values. The existence of these cities is also a reminder of human ingenuity and creativity in the face of existential challenges. Not everyone has the courage and determination to live underground, but for those who have been there, this is their life and their home. 2. Life underground, a miniature society. Imagine waking up on a sunless morning in a pitch-black room surrounded by 4 cold stone walls. There is no concept of day or night, only an endless cycle of dim light from oil lamps. Underground, life does not stop. It just changes in ways no one can imagine. The inhabitants of underground cities must adapt to harsh living conditions, dim light, thin air, and no contact with the outside world. To survive, they have built complex systems to ensure clean water and air. Water is drawn from deep wells, sometimes reaching underground aquifers, ensuring an uninterrupted supply. Carefully designed ventilation systems circulated air throughout the tunnels, helping to maintain acceptable air levels. The inhabitants not only knew how to preserve food, but also invented underground farming methods such as growing dark-tolerant mushrooms and vegetables, which supplemented fresh food sources for this harsh life. But life underground was not simply about eating, sleeping, and surviving. They built a fully functioning society. From places of worship, schools, public baths, to areas for production and exchange of goods. Stories tell that during their heyday, these underground cities were no different from their above-ground counterparts, with vibrant community activities. Children were educated, adults worked and worshipped, and artisans worked hard to create works of art, carving and decorating the stone walls with images depicting daily life and religious beliefs. Legend has it that there were times when the underground city held small festivals, with songs and dances to keep people's spirits up during the dark months. It was these moments that helped them feel less isolated from the outside world. These were rare moments that helped them connect with each other, feel their fellow countrymen, and keep the fire burning in their belief that one day they would step out into the light again. 3. Difficulties, challenges, and survival methods. Life underground is not a romantic story. It is a daily struggle with constant hardships. The first thing to face is the eternal darkness. Without natural light, human eyesight gradually adapts to the darkness, but this cannot compensate for the lack of sunlight. Children born underground can live their entire lives without knowing the sun or the blue sky. Vitamin D deficiency and mental health issues such as depression become an inevitable part of everyday life. The mental challenges are even more severe than the physical conditions. The monotony and silence of the long tunnels easily cause the mind to fall into a state of depression. There are records of underground residents having to create many ways to entertain themselves, from storytelling, composing music, to simple games to keep their spirits up. However, not everyone is strong enough to overcome it. The isolation, the feeling of being completely cut off from the outside world, makes many people fall into a state of disorientation, no longer distinguishing between day and night, reality and dreams. To combat the suffocation of darkness and isolation, underground residents have developed many forms of community activities. Religious ceremonies, prayers, and artistic activities help them bond with each other. Some areas are designated as communal spaces, where people can gather, chat, and share stories about the life above ground that they miss. In addition, the air underground can become toxic if not properly ventilated. Residents have created natural ventilation systems that use pressure differences to create air currents, removing toxic gases and providing the oxygen necessary for life. These systems are not only a feat of engineering, but also a testament to human intelligence and adaptability in the harshest of conditions. Fourth, hypotheses and predictions for the future. Underground cities, a part of history that has been forgotten, but with the current climate and global security fluctuations, will such cities become the solution of the future? As climate change becomes more complex, temperatures rise, and natural disasters become more frequent, many scientists have begun to study the possibility of building modern underground cities with advanced technology to serve the survival needs of humans in the future. Underground cities will no longer be just places to escape, but can become vibrant centers with full amenities and high-end technology. The idea of underground urban areas with artificial lighting systems, internal green spaces, and self-sustaining infrastructure is no longer far-fetched. These structures will help people avoid harsh climate conditions, protect against natural and man-made disasters, and make efficient use of underground resources. Hypotheses also suggest that living underground will help reduce pressure on the Earth's surface while protecting people from risks such as radiation from the sun and negative impacts from natural disasters. A future where underground cities become part of the global urban ecosystem is no longer far-fetched. Companies and governments have begun investing in these research projects in the hope that one day we will be able to live and thrive underground as ancient inhabitants did. Underground cities are not only a witness to history, but also a lesson in human resilience, adaptability, and endless creativity. From dark tunnels to small cramped rooms, those who lived underground created a unique society with all the functions of a real city. Although forgotten over time, their traces still exist as a reminder that, when pushed to the edge of survival, humans always find a way to overcome. Underground cities are not only a shelter, but also a testament to the strength of human will, courage, and endless creativity. These stories make us wonder, if you lived in that era, would you be brave enough to step into the darkness and survive underground? What do you think about the possibility of underground cities regenerating in the future? Share your thoughts in the comments section below, And don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on future mysterious historical stories. We look forward to your comments and contributions.